Well, it was a gritty, tough, hard-fought game. I thought that we could put in a couple more scores, either via the field goal or a touchdown. We had one call back, and then we had two mess-up field goals. So, you know, that made the game even tougher for us, because now you're allowing a team like Fordham to stay in the game deep into the fourth quarter. Now you are concerned Chase can rip off a big one, or the quarterback finds a receiver downfield for a quick touchdown. Next thing you know, it's 14-14, and you're in a complete dogfight. So I think I credit our defense. They played extremely well. Fordham showed the kind of offense they have against Army at West Point. They're a high-scoring team. To hold them to one touchdown, you know, we'll take it. It was a signature win won by our defense.
I guess for anybody, just talk about what you were able to see on the offensive side of the ball to be able to be so successful against a team like Fordham, because they've always been known for their defense. So just talk about what you guys were able to see on the offensive side.
On the offensive side, starting in the first half, we had a hard time running the ball. But coming out in the second half, we picked it up. Our line picked it up, started pushing, and the run became successful.
Yeah, our offensive line played really well. Run blocking, I thought they played great actually. They were pushing guys around. Javon ran really well, and I mean they're a tough defense. They didn't give up much, but you know they blitzed the whole time. They were blitzing almost like every other play, I think. But we were just trying to figure out ways to counter that blitz, and luckily for most of the time we were.
I know there were a couple of sequences where the defense seemed like really stepped up in kind of critical stages of the game. One was when Fordham had that 34-yard run, and then you guys got a sack. Did you feel like I mean, again, I know against UConn, the defense came up big again. I feel like they brought it again this week, I guess, obviously.
Yeah, you know what? In a young season like this, you come in thinking, you know what, our defense is pretty good, and they exhibited that against Connecticut, and I needed to see it again. And now, I mean, Fordham is really a high-powered college football team at this level. To hold them to 7 points was really tremendous. So I guess I'm going to hang my hat on our defense early in the season and say they're going to hold us on until our offense gets in sync. We're not normally a 14-point score offense. I mean, last year I think we averaged 37 points a game. So we're trying to get back to that. We're grooming our running backs, and we had a couple offensive linemen that were new, and one of them was a true freshman. So, you know, this was the ideal game where we needed to hang our hat on our defense, and you know, it worked out for us.
John, I know you had said after the UConn game that you felt the offense needed to step up, and you guys showed some flashes between Javon's, between the rushing game picking up in the second half and in the first half, where it seemed like you had a couple game-breaking plays. Like I know you had a 20-yard scramble at one point. You had some other good things happening. Do you feel a little more? Yeah,
definitely. I think that we were moving the ball whenever we wanted to. Honestly, the thing was when we got into the red zone, we were getting penalties, and it would just quickly be like 2nd and 20, which we have to fix that. But I think coming out of this game, like Coach Talley said, we had a lot of young guys stepping up and making big plays. It was like Jarrett McClinton played great. And I think that we just got to start focusing up when we get into the red zone and capitalize on that, because we got about 400 yards offense, which is pretty good, especially in weather like this.
What do you think is the biggest lesson that you could take from tonight's game that you could bring with you for the rest of the year?
I think first and foremost is our team mantra, which is tap the rock. I mean, offense has carried us so many times before. I'm glad the defense had a chance to carry them for once. And I think that, as a defense as a whole, and actually as a team as a whole, we just took the mentality that we're not losing this game. And we went out there with that mentality, and I for instance, on the last 4th down, our offense had to get those 2 or 3 yards. We did it, and that's I think that's a perfect example for Tapper Rock Villanova.